And to give us further insight in regards to the meeting between Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, we have now joining us live Professor Himahanto Juwana from Universitas Indonesia. Hi, Professor. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Paul. How are you? Thank you very much for having me.
All right, great. Doing well as well. So can you give us your thoughts in regards to this most recent meeting between the leaders that happened in Moscow?
Well, we understand that China is giving a proposal to Russia to end the Ukraine war, but we have no news or no information what the proposal is. We understand that the Russian president is now studying the proposal made by China. But I think the meeting between Xi Jinping and Putin has a symbolic meaning, in a sense that the two countries does not want the U.S. or its allies to dictate the world what is fair according to the world. China, we understand that do not support explicitly to Russia's attack to Ukraine. However, China also does not oppose openly with respect to Russia's policies against Ukraine. So in that sense, this makes the US and its allies very upset because as if China, as a big country, does not want to condemn Russia for its action. So that's the symbolic meaning of this meeting.
All right, Professor, this is Alia speaking. So this is something that is very important, this meeting. And we saw that China is having the magnitude of, meeting Putin after he's being isolated by other countries. And what do you think? I mean, China has been claiming that they are on a neutral position, but right now meeting Russia. So do you think that this is going to be not merely talking about peace talk, but a new world order is being, talked in this meeting?
Well, yes, I do agree with you, Alia, that there's going to be a new world order, not only being dictated or decided by Western countries, especially the US and its European countries, but also other big countries, such as China and Russia. So in this sense, even though President Xi Jinping said that China is neutral, however, its neutrality does not mean that they are against Russia or they are supporting the cause of the US in supporting Ukraine, on the attack from Russia. So I think there's going to be a new world order. And China, of course, will propose some plans. And according to Russia, it is based on international law and also international justice. The problem with current situation, where the US and NATO is supporting Ukraine, as if they do not want to hear the side of Russian arguments.
Yeah.
To say that, they are worried because NATO is expanding and also Ukraine is trying to clamp down the people in Ukraine, in East Ukraine, who practice Russian culture.
Yeah.
All right, Professor. Will the relations between China and Russia that's been shown through Xi's visit cause a strong reaction from the US and its allies? This
Yes,
is Maria
sure.
speaking, by the way.
Oh, yes, Maria. Yes, for sure. Because Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that he disliked the meeting because then it shows that, as if China is supporting Russia, even though China is saying that they are there on a neutral basis and they want to propose a peace talk or effort to make peace in Ukraine. So yes, the US dislike this. They are very afraid that there's going to be a coalition between China and Russia especially if China will support Russia in their war by supplying arms from, from China. So that's what worries the U.S.
And Professor, now that the meeting has come and gone, how, if at all, do you think the meeting will affect the ongoing war in Ukraine?
Well, it affects, largely on the balance of power. Now the U.S. understand that big countries like China, also including India, they will not support the cause of U.S. by supporting Ukraine, but they also does not open in an open, manner to support Russia. So, but this, for the U.S. is going to be dangerous in the sense that the U.S. cannot control other countries, especially big countries, of what they think is right.
All right, it's just very interesting because Xi Jinping just entered the third term, and now they became the peacemaker between Saudi Arabia and Iran, and now trying to also bring again the 12 points of peacemaking for Russia and Ukraine. So why do you think China is taking this stance right now? And how can we account China as very responsible and being the peace broker making?
Well, to me, there are three reasons why China is taking these actions now. One is, China has been harassed by the U.S. With respect to, issue of Taiwan, because in the eyes of China, Taiwan is part of China. Of course, according to China, the U.S. As if wants to support Taiwan's independence. So China is, of course, very upset. Secondly, we understand that China and the U.S. in the Pacific now entering into a competition. And probably China says that, we are not going to only enter competition in the Pacific or in Asia, but also in Europe by coming to Russia and then, as if they are supporting Russian policy in their actions against Ukraine. And lastly, China now is aware that they are a big country and they need to be calculated by the U.S. So this is a momentum for China to say or to send a message to the U.S. that, look, don't play around with us, because now we are a big country and we can do whatever we want, and we can, of course, be in support for Russia. So that is the three reasons why I think President Xi Jinping came to Russia, even though the issue that he wants to bring is how to make a peace deal in Ukraine.
I see. Professor, does this meeting impact regional stability, including in ASEAN? And will it change China-Russia perspective on regionalism?
Well, somehow it may impact the region, especially for ASEAN. Even though we understand that this has great impact in Europe, great impact to the world, but probably not that great impact to Asia or to ASEAN. And we hope that the two countries, Russia and China, can contain it. The impact is only to Ukraine or to Europe because they want to resolve the problem in Ukraine, probably with a different perspective from the US and its allies. So they will come up with a certain issue. And I think at this moment, President Putin is in dire need to have third parties who, can save his face from prolonging this war in Ukraine. And China is the answer.
Right. Just perhaps an additional question from me, Professor. So we see that in the peace proposal that China made, there was no point about withdrawing of Russian troops from Ukraine area. But this is not what the U.S. wants. So how do you think this can, bring any effect to the war in Ukraine if there are no, same ground for both, especially the ones who have, the stakeholders of this war, I would say?
Well, one thing for sure, if the Russian withdraw its troops from Ukraine, that means Russia is losing the war. And China understands that, that kind of proposal will not be accepted by Russia. So I think there's not going to be any issue of withdrawing troops from Ukraine, from the side of Russia. However, of course, China may, may ask the UN, for example, to have a peacekeeping operations to be there to make sure that there's not going to be any conflict any longer. There's going to be peace, those kind of things. I haven't heard anything yet, so we have to wait, until the proposal is revealed by President Putin.
All right, Professor Himahanto Juwana, thank you so much for speaking here in the 3 Hour News Show and wishing you a well and healthy day. And thank you